Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Glad to see you all. Today I have the opportunity and my pleasure to be diving into something super important that I know it's going to help you guys out a lot. The top 5 elite habits to lose weight and most importantly to keep the weight off. This word habit, I just want to kind of emphasize on it because I never used to believe in habits. I felt like, you could just wing it. You could go out there, crush your workout, eat healthy, and just kind of like go off based on the rule of thumbs. But the reality is, when the road gets tough, and you're coming off of a massive weekend binger where you just ate everything under the sun, right? You drank sugary drinks, you ate your donuts, your pizza, your fried chicken, so on and so forth. That's when these habits, when they are actually placed in your life, they can save you. They could actually, believe it or not, I never used to think this would be true, but I remember when I was preparing for my competition and I was I was at my leanest. I was at like 5% body fat. And the biggest thing was Saturday night would come and all of a sudden I was like, I want to eat everything under what was on the table. And basically what happened was I had up until that point had built such a crazy habitual routine around my food that even when I saw KFC or fried chicken or pizza and burgers and fries and donuts, right? I would have it into a portion size controlled, amount, but I would never ever overeat or overindulge on those food groups. So today I have the pleasure to talk to you guys about what's going to really help you out. And I pray this provides some sort of value to you guys and help you out. And most importantly, guys, this is my Instagram. If you have any questions or concerns, you want to reach out to me, please feel free to do so. Okay, so that being said, number one on the list is tracking. What the heck do I mean by this? And before I start, I just want you guys to know that these are not quick hacks. These are not like, rule of thumbs. These are game changing habits that if you actually implement and apply these in your life and stick with them, they will save you when the road gets tough. So with that being said, let's start it. Okay, we can see here, perfect. All right, so number one is tracking. Okay, so if you cannot simply, the biggest organizations in the world, we're looking at Walmart, Petronas, we're looking at, companies such as Google, Yahoo, these companies, the reason why they continue to dominate decade after decade after decade is because they're able to track their numbers. And very much so, our body is the exact same thing. Imagine if you had a car and you put a full tank of gas, but it never indicated to you how much gas you had in your car. You would have anxiety all the time driving because you would think 90% of the time that, hey, you're running out of gas, right? So this is why those on the tachometer or on the gauges, they're really important because they're telling you that your fuel level, your oil temperature, your transmission temperature, so on and so forth. So it's really important that we track what's going on in our body. All right. So what you cannot, track, you cannot manage. Simple. Okay. So it's really important. You could get apps such as, MyFitnessPal. Okay. And you could get either a book that you could just track your calories or macros on, pen and paper, traditional style, or you could have notes on your iPhone or your Samsung phone, whatever phone you have, and you could track it with that. There's many ways to do this, guys, and most importantly, the best thing is that when you're actually tracking, that's when you're gonna be able to realize that, oh my God, all these years, no wonder I was underestimating what one donut could do. It's one donut, I could eat it, you can eat it. There's nothing wrong with the donut. It's the fact that you don't understand how quickly you could put 1,000 calories in your body just by simply, let's say you're at McDonald's, you order 2 cheeseburgers. you're already over 700-800 calories throughout the day. That's filled with nitrates, other chemicals, processed cheese, so on and so forth. So you have to understand that you could either have healthy calories or you could have destructive calories. Is just your choice, right? So it's really important that you track everything in the beginning until they become habit. Until these things become a habit, that's when you'll be able to like kind of maybe just eyeball it. Like I've been having the same breakfast for the past 15 years, right? 3 whole eggs, my liquid egg whites, half cup of blueberries, cup of oats, water or some sort of a orange juice, right? So once you're at that level, you won't need to go to the painstaking way of just tracking every single meal and worrying about if you're gonna go over or not. All right. Moving on to number 2. What the heck is PP? PP is you want to prioritize protein. So you want to prioritize, my mic is, yeah. You want to prioritize protein heavily. One of the main reasons why you want to prioritize protein is because protein causes satiety. Satiety means the feeling of being full. Okay, that's one of the nice things about taking in protein. And you want to prioritize protein. Let's say you're at a brunch, right? Or you're at a buffet, or you're at a gathering. You want to train your eyes to seek the protein first. If you're not seeking the protein first, your eyes are just gonna automatically go towards the carbs, the fatty food, the fried stuff, the cheesy stuff, so on and so forth, right? So if you want to focus, that's what I do. Every time I'm at a buffet, I will try to fill myself up as much as possible with protein first, right? Ideally, if I have a big plate, I would prioritize at least 50% protein, all right? Then it would be, depending, 30% carbs, and then you'll have 20% fats, and so on. So when you prioritize protein, you're going to, first of all, feel much more fuller. Second, you'll eat less carbs because you're more full. And third, you'll have, throughout the day, you'll have a feeling of being full, and you won't get freaking those cravings that people talk about, like, oh, I'm craving fries, I'm craving pizza, ice cream, burgers, so on, right? So that's number 2. Number 3, okay, is imperfect action. Stop trying to create, or stop trying to live in a world where every action of yours needs to be perfect, guys. This was my biggest mistake, even in high school. An art project would start, or a science project would start, and they tell you, I don't know if you remember, but they tell you to build a volcano, and that could be, and you put baking soda in it and vinegar, and it will explode, and so on and so forth, right? I had other students around me. They would just like, sometimes they would just like wing it. They would just like throw away their basically their ideas onto the board, and therefore they would create something faster than me being stuck on one idea and trying to roll with that idea when I knew that idea was a complete failure because I had not tried enough times. So what I'm telling you guys is you want to take imperfect action throughout the day. And then what does NEAT stand for? It's non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Am I going over? Thermogenesis. Okay, so what this means essentially is if you work from home, okay, you could get a walking pad off Amazon. It's basically kind of like a mini treadmill without the handles, and you place it like right underneath your desk and just walking, and while you're working. You could be on a Zoom call, you could be on a, you could be writing up a document, you could be doing some research, so on and so forth. You could be handling clients, you could be creating meal plans, right? This will significantly help you out, and it will offset the additional calories that you may have snuck into your stomach throughout the day. Okay, so super important. Just try to take action. I know a lot of these guys out there, these scientific, gurus, they're doing all these fancy terms and all this jargon. I'm telling you guys, you don't need that. This is about taking action, but to a point where they become habits. And then after that, maybe you could dive into a little bit of more knowledge and understand the mechanics of your body, understand diet more, nutrition, protocols, resting, recovery, so on and so forth, right? So moving on, number 4, okay, your activity level, okay? So this is super important. So throughout the day, okay, you have 24 hours. Good amount of recovery would be about 7 to 8 hours. Depending if how far your work is. If you work outside from your home, it's about half an hour there, half an hour back, fighting traffic. So you're already in a non-momentive state for 9 hours a day. And now if you have an office job, or for example, if you're a truck driver or you're a cab driver, just an example, okay, you're basically sitting. If you're doing an 8-hour shift, you're sitting, laying down for 16, 17 hours a day, right? So what you want to do is you want to focus on your activity level throughout the day, right? Just like I said here, you could take imperfect action and you could obviously focus on just moving, right? Because when an object is pure physics, when an object is still, okay, there is no energy. But when an object is moving, it's got energy and it's moving. So therefore, the activity level needs to be monitored, right? Oh. And this will really help you out, especially the type of work that you do. A walking ped would be great. Honestly, if you've had a massive meal, one of the big things that I could share with you guys, and 99% of the people don't do it. I don't know why. You have a big meal. Let's say you had a big meal at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. If it's not like a snowstorm out there or flooding or pounding rain, go for a walk, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's not only gonna help you release, or offset the calories and make you digest your food faster, it will help you de-stress. It'll help you unwind. It will help you get rid of your anxiety. It will get you more present. And most importantly, your rest will be great. So therefore, go for 30 minutes a day after your meal. Ideally, the meal before your bedtime, right? 30 minutes. And this will really help you out significantly, and it will kickstart your digestion progress for the next day. Last but not least, guys, most people are just focused on like, oh, I want to get up early, an hour early, and I want to go to bed on time. I'm telling you guys, it does not matter when you wake up. It does not matter what time you go to sleep. But at the end of the day, whether you wake up at 2 p.m. or whether you wake up at 5 a.m., reality of the matter is it's the type of action that you take throughout the day. If Elon Musk got up at lunchtime, but he went from 12 to like 10 p.m., breakneck speed, no distractions, and just worked his brains off, right? He's gonna outwork the person that woke up at 5 a.m. and took inefficient action. It's just pure, I guess, logistics, right? Or that's just logical sense, right? So what you want to focus on is 7 to 8 hours of solid rest. Okay, 7 to 8 hours of solid rest is going to keep you in optimal shape, or for your brain. You'll be able to tackle on problems without fatiguing, and you'll have longer mental bandwidth throughout the day, right? Not only that, when you're going to the gym, your muscles have enough time to recover and be ready for the next day. So therefore, you don't need to stimulate your brain with 3, 4, 500 milligrams of caffeine in a energy drink or pre-workout. It's okay to take those things. Like pre-workout is okay, but I try to limit it to like 1/3 of a scoop, because I have coffee in the morning, and 1/3 of the scoop is just perfect amount to get me throughout my workout, right? So it's super important that you take your recovery seriously. One of the other things I could tell you is you could do. I know a lot of people are not fans of this, but you could do ice therapy basically once a week. If you, but for example, me, like I love ice therapy. I would try to do it at least um, every other day, but that's totally entirely up to you. But most importantly, you have to take your recovery seriously, guys, because when you are tired, and that's when you make the worst decisions. That's when you tilt. That's when you go off the hill and you start eating everything under the sun, because you're not making technical decisions. You're just winging it, and your brain is completely out to holiday mode. So I wanted to share this with you guys. I hope this some way, shape, or form this created some value to you or helped you out. If you guys have any questions or concerns, please follow me at UMYFIT, UMMYFIT at Instagram. And over there, I create a lot of more content, short form mainly, but I just thought that being on YouTube, going in depth with this type of content has helped out a lot of my clients, and I could always send it to them because it's evergreen and it doesn't disappear, right? So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. My name is Omar Sayed, and looking forward to the next video, and I'll see you guys then.